Okay, so we are live. Welcome, everyone. Welcome back to week 2 of our epic souls of Blab Talk Tuesdays. And Blab Talk Tuesdays, for those who are new to being a Blab viewer, every week I interview a guest co-host to come sit in the Blab seat. And they are mompreneurs and or wifepreneurs who are sharing their wins, their losses, and their lessons as it relates to how they have built their passion business empire. And this week, I am blessed to have the lovely and the beautiful Tamira Hamilton with us. How are you, love?
I am wonderful. Thank you for having me.
Oh, I would not have it any other way.
I'm so excited.
Let's go ahead and let's introduce you and get this party started. So, Tamira is the beauty and brains mompreneur who made the ever bold decision to stop being under the thumb of traditional business semantics. What happened was a good friend bought an extraordinary venture opportunity to Tamira with an extraordinary company. Now, she gets paid to teach others how to successfully execute a system to achieve financial freedom. She's no longer in competition with her peers. Rather, they all work very closely together and share best business practices.
I couldn't have said it better myself. I could not. You said it like I wrote it, that's for sure.
Hey, Knifey. Let's see who else is in here. Hey, Keisha Boo. All right, so we're going to go ahead and kick this off. Tamira, tell us what your passion business is. I know I kind of gave a very broad overview, but kind of dig deep a little bit and tell us what your passion business is.
You know, there's multiple sides to my passion business at the moment. So what I really would like to talk about is like my vision. So, because I think when you have a vision, because businesses come and go, right? Any mogul, any major entrepreneur, what they have created is a vision. And then there are businesses that come and go out of that vision based on trends, you know, what's going on at the time, where the money is going. I just did a Facebook Live about being focused on where the puck is going, not where the puck is. So my vision is all about the traditional workplace and being able to say goodbye to the traditional workplace. I feel we as women, and specifically women of color, the traditional workplace is not for us. And Keisha Bass is here, and she knows how I get when I talk about this. You know, as African-American women, we are the most overeducated and underpaid cohort in America. We don't do well with corporate politics.
Say that again.
We are the most overeducated and underpaid cohort in America. We are still on the plantation being used and abused and raped over the coals in corporate America. They don't want us there. They tolerate us. They don't celebrate us. So there's never been a better time to say adios to that and do your own thing. Even if you transition, I'm not saying go in tomorrow and flip your boss the bird and walk out, but that is what my vision is about. Our children we are the most educated and underpaid. So our children are twice as likely to live in poverty. Our children are the most likely to live in a single parent home, which is part of the reason they're more likely to live in poverty. And a lot of it has to do with the fact that we are chasing something that is not for us. We need to be home with our children. We need to be able to get them to school, be there with them. And I'm telling you, as a woman who sacrificed, my children are now grown. So I feel kind of funny being called a mompreneur because my children are grown. They're out of the nest. But, you know, the best redemption is a grandchild. So I'm there with my grandson whenever they need me. And that is not going to change. That is my why for my business. And my goal is to educate and empower other women, regardless of color. But I specifically can speak to the African-American experience and freeing themselves from the bondage of getting these overpriced educations, getting all and consuming all of this debt for a job that is not going to pay you enough to get your child out of poverty and be able to move and create legacy for generations to come. And there's no better time to do that than now.
I love that. I think we could just end this blab right here. I think you just blessed us and gave us enough to take us on through like for the rest of the week. What y'all think, ladies? She just came through with the first question and just.
Right, I should have warned you. I'm sorry.
All right. Well, you know what? If y'all think that first question knocked y'all off y'all feet, let me hit you with another one, Tamira. Right. So, when did you actually realize that this was your passion business? Like, walk us through that aha moment when the light bulb came on.
Well, the ultimate aha moment came this past summer, but I feel like I've been an entrepreneur my entire life. However, like many of us, our grandparents and our parents have taught us that we need to get an education, because that's what I did. I got the education and I went to work and I worked my way up, and I kept thinking at some point I'm really going to be in charge, only to find out the higher you get, the less in charge you really are. You just become sandwiched between those that report to you and those above you, and you take the brunt of everybody, right?
Exactly.
So I think the turning point came for me this summer when, after watching someone on Periscope make a lot of money, and while they're very good at what they do, I just really felt like, wow, if they were able to do it, there's absolutely no reason that I should not be able to do it. And I don't want the focus of this to be about making money, because that's obviously not my passion. But I will also tell you that whole money is the root of all evil. Don't listen to that mess, because money is what will allow you. Yes, it is the love of money. Money is what will allow you to make a big change in the world if you don't let it change you. And if you do, something was wrong with you in the first place. But back to the story at hand. Having seen this happen,
I'm just gonna sip on
I decided to finally go ahead and create a product. And I did, and I took it to Periscope, and it did very well. And going back to work, and mind you, I was underemployed at this point. I purposely decided to be underemployed so that I could save my energy to build my empire for my legacy, my handsome grandson, as Keisha said, Tristan Carter. So I was purposely underemployed. And I just decided, I was really getting tired of getting punched for things that were beyond my control. And I also was not the best employee. I'll be upfront and honest about that, because you get what you pay for.
Right.
You get what you pay for. You can't, you knew
little,
that
I'm going to produce little.
I'm going to produce little. You're not going to get six-figure Tamira for what I was being paid. It's just not going to happen.
Oh my gosh. So, all right.
You
are a mom with grown children, and you have a very handsome and adorable 2-year-old grandson, I might add. If anyone follows her on Facebook, you know that he is absolutely adorable. So you have your grandson, and you have your older children, and you have your business. I see you on Periscope. I see you on Facebook. I see you in your Facebook group. How do you minimize your distractions? What's your secret?
My secret is, one, you have to keep the main thing the main thing. So if you need to have in writing what the main thing is. And my main thing is product creation and distribution. That's my main thing. Okay. And so if it is not related to the main thing or the next main thing, it gets no play.
All right. So how do people know what the main thing is? Is that like knowing what your end goal is?
Yeah, you have to decide, what is the number one thing? What is the number one strategy that I want to accomplish in 2016? You have to figure out what that is. It may even be define. Okay, so let's do this one, because I help people with this a lot, and that is defining your ideal customer. Right? That is the best thing you can do in your business. And how you decide that is you take a look at, where do you want to see the bulk of your revenue coming from, and what is, so if you have 5 projects in front of you, which is going to be aligned with where you're headed strategically, and which is going to bring you the most revenue, so that you can meet more of your goals. And so for me, that is product creation and distribution. And if it doesn't fit within those, then I don't go chasing it, because people will come at you all day long with their shiny ball objects. And so like knowing your ideal customer is a great point, because before that, you may be out here chasing everybody that is pretending like they want to do business with you. Knowing who it is that you serve and how you're going to serve them will dictate and make everything else in your business life so very easy.
Through with this word. You keep talking. I'm just gonna keep typing in the comment box. You gonna keep serving up this business sermon,
Erica. You know,
this business sermon.
Yeah. All right. So who is it that you're going to serve? How are you going to serve them, and where are they, so that you can get to them and get your message in front of them? Everything else is noise. So product content, creation, and distribution.
Everything else is noise.
Everything else is noise. Everything else is noise. Girl, I can talk about this for an hour.
Null and void.
Yes, it's noise. And some of it you might need to grab and just put it in your pocket for right now. And you're gonna hold it there until the time is right. Some of it you might rightfully need to put your attention on, but for the most part, it's noise. It's just absolute noise, and it's a distraction, like you said. So an example of how I remain productive, I mainly use Chrome on my laptop. I can't see the newsfeed on Facebook. I can't see the newsfeed on Facebook. I use a Chrome extension, and it kills the newsfeed. So the newsfeed is not there, because the truth is we do social media for business, right? It can also become your biggest distraction. And you can be like, man, I was on Facebook all day today and you didn't make any money. It's because you weren't using Facebook for the right purpose.
Okay, back up, time out. Because I use Chrome too, but I go to facebook.com and I'm in the Facebook application. You're saying that if you are using the Google Chrome web browser, there's a Facebook extension that has less movement going on?
It basically says, let me click on my news feed. I'm going to read to you word for word what it says. There's no feed there at the top. All I see, and I'll take a screenshot and post this in your group. There's a little box where, like, if I wanted to post a status, and then underneath that in big black bold letters it says, "Don't get distracted by Facebook."
All right. Gotta make sure I add that to my blog post follow-up.
The other thing I will do is I will shut down tabs for Facebook, so that Facebook is not even open on my laptop for an hour or so at a time, because the little red notifications, they do that on purpose. They're red for a reason, to get your attention. And it really bothers me when those are there. So I have to click on it. And so even if it's not that I address it right then and there, it's the fact that I see it. So I have to go over and click on it. And 9 times out of 10, there's something else that distracts me. I can't tell you how many times I picked up my phone to call somebody or text somebody, and then all this different notifications are coming through on the phone, and I get distracted and like, who was I calling? What was I calling about? I meant to text somebody 3 hours ago and never text them, And so you have to become a manager of that.
Yeah, I love the idea of the Google Chrome feed, because I primarily use Facebook for the Facebook groups. My own Facebook group is in the different groups that I am, but all the personal page information pretty much comes up. And again, like you said, it gets really, really distracting. I have a distraction-free application, but it doesn't allow me to access Facebook at all. So sometimes it can become a haphazard if I need to interact with my group, but I have it set for a certain time block, then it doesn't release for like 3-4 hours later. You know what I mean? So I'm going to check that out. I like that. Now, we know how you minimize your distractions. We know how you, we know what your passion business is. But now, like you said, with us using social media to make people aware of the type of business that we have and how knowledgeable we are about that particular business, how do you prioritize what to do first? Posting, scheduling, hosting, talking to clients, because it's all important. How do you know what to prioritize?
Well, every day you want to be doing a couple different tasks. You basically want to be creating content, and then you basically want to be marketing that content. There are days when, based on my schedule, I don't create content. I have enough content that I can just repurpose existing content or redistribute existing content. So that's really what it boils down to, is you're either creating or distributing, one or the other. I just like to keep it simple.
You need to but you need to create before you can distribute, because if you don't create, there's nothing to distribute.
At this point, I've created so much. I honestly could go a very long time without having to create anything else. I can just keep distributing. Like, I haven't done a blog post since September.
I saw that. I was going to ask you, like, how in the world?
Yeah, I don't have to, because to be honest with you, my blog is not about me doing a blog post every day. My blog is to create the content to get people to my lead magnet and get on my list and become a customer. And for the customer that I have decided that I want, the content is there for them to make the decision. Now, in 2016, I'm going to expand on that and start going after different segments of customers. So then there will be more blog posts to get them back to the blog, and then retarget them and get them on the list, retarget them, and get them to purchase. But I learned that from Derek Halpern, and even Ryan Dice says the same thing. Most people don't have a traffic problem. What you have is a conversion problem, or you don't have a creation problem.
I'm sorry, get to that one more time.
You don't have a traffic problem. You have a conversion problem.
Y'all need to write this down. I'm just saying. That's why they call me the conversation and conversion chick, because everybody can run their mouth and have a conversation, but can you convert them into a contract? That is the question.
Right.
That's the question. All right. So now you mentioned products. You sell products a few different times. Tell us the types of products that you sell.
Well, they fall into two different categories. I have a social media and marketing consultancy and coaching business, and then I have a beauty business, which does have some coaching involved in it. So I do sell makeup, customized foundations.
Clearly, based on how beat your face is. Clearly, I just want some lipstick and just kind of enhance my eyebrows a little bit.
And you look beautiful. You look absolutely beautiful. I have these horrendous under eye dark circles.
Nothing in comparison to you over there, but thank you.
I can't come on the air with them under eye dark circles. I can't. And then to say I'm a beauty blogger and beautypreneur, and that's not taken care of, that would just be detrimental to my success. So
that would be a little bit.
You gotta look the part.
I'm just saying. Yeah.
Yeah. You gotta look the part, right? So
absolutely.
I was at a seminar not so long ago, and they were talking about being a product of the product, and I'm like, oh, that's very easy. I generally have about 20 of them on my face.
And then I use this one for this. I use this one for that. A little bit here. Exactly. So just stand here and just take notes of my face.
Yes, it's my best billboard. It's my best promotion. Is my face. So it's like if you are into weight management and you're fat, it's probably not a good look. You want to lose the weight. So so that's one piece. Is the makeup and distribution of that, and building a team there, and then the main thing is the social marketing, social media and marketing coaching and consulting. So I have products. My number one selling product is how to create your ideal customer and communicate with them, because that is the number one thing that I'm able to help people with in terms of converting. You have to know who you're serving, how you're going to serve them, where they're hanging out, and have a message to present to them when you get in front of them.
That's so crazy, because my webinar is about that tomorrow. That is so crazy. That was absolutely insane. I love it. All right. So you sell products, you sell informational products with the social media and marketing consulting, and then you sell tangible products to help people beat their face and get their life together. So speaking businesswoman to businesswoman, you have ideally two different business models, right? So how did you come up with the strategy to charge what you deserve? Because thinking how bosses think, there's a different process and concept that goes into the monetary aspect of both. So how did you come up with the strategy to charge what you deserve?
Well, the number one thing you got to be striving to do is to break even, right? You gotta
keep the lights on. I'm just saying.
You gotta keep the lights on. You gotta keep the lights on, right?
Right.
So that's the number one thing, is you got to figure out how much it's going to cost to keep the lights on, right? And then from there, I look at the market. What is the market offering? And then I also consider, what will people pay? Because usually there's a big disparity between what the market says and what people will pay. People will pay your worth, and that's how you figure it out. People will pay your worth. So you got to know what you're worth, and you got to ask. You got to back it up with the right content, valuable content, extreme value, and blow their mind. Give them something that they've never had before, and they will pay you according to that. If you do the bare minimum, you can expect the bare minimum.
Nothing. Lights are going to be off.
Right.
Noodles and peanut butter and jam sandwiches, and your lights are going to be off. Just go and buy candles right now.
Exactly. And it goes back to, it all begins with knowing who you're going to serve, how you're going to serve them, and getting in front of them with your message. And then getting your right amount of money for what you do is not a problem.
I'm just going to bring you onto my webinar tomorrow.
That works.
And I'm going to just play the recording to this verbatim.
Yeah, because I'll have Tristan in the morning.
And then just interact in the comment box.
Yeah.
Now, I'm going to ask a really, really stupid question, as if I don't know. But can you explain why is it so important that you must get in front of your target audience and share what you know? As it relates to charging what you deserve. Why is that so important?
Because for one, in today's world, okay, so I forgot a big piece of that Periscope story from earlier. He collected money for a product he had not yet created.
Pre-sales.
Okay. He collected money. I want you to understand what I'm saying to you. It was like a Kickstarter program, a self-funded Kickstarter, when he got on Periscope and said, hey, I have this idea. And that's what I did, the exact same thing. I just followed step by step exactly what he did, right? And so that's why you have to know who it is that you're going to serve, because they're going to tell you what they need. The days of building a better mousetrap and they will come are dead in the water. You talk to the mice about how can I trap you, and then you trap the mouse. It's just that simple.
You make it sound so easy.
It is. It is.
It really is.
It really is. It blew my mind how easy it was.
What's the guy's name again? Tamira.
Which one?
Derek
Halpern. Derek Halpern. Halpern.
HER. Oh, can you type it in? Because I'm going to mess it up. And then at the end of the blab, you guys, I'm going to go and I'm going to update my blog post with all of the resources. Resources? What is that? I'm not from New York. Resources. Sorry. Cup number 3 is kicking in. I'm going to go into the blog post and I'm going to update all of the resources that Tamira is sharing with us today, so you can go back and get recap and have all the links and everything like that, so we can help y'all get y'all life in order. All right. I mean, because it's all about helping the people. You know what I'm saying? It's all about helping the people. When you know more, you just do more. All right. Now, one of my biggest pet peeves ever as a business coach and a business consultant is seeing people go run and try to go to GoDaddy.com and buy a very catchy domain name, go and build a website and go buy business cards and all of this stuff, right? Drives me crazy. I won't get off into that. We'll say that for another blab. Can you share with us what was your first business investment and why?
Woo, my first business investment was actually inventory. And actually before that, it was training. I back that up. It was training. My first business investment was training. I
hone your skill set
and to get certified in the product line. Because at this point, I was not doing the social media marketing and coaching. I was strictly starting the makeup portion of the business, and I still have that value of education in my blood instilled in me. And I felt that getting trained on the product and getting beyond trained, actually getting certified, would behoove me from a marketing standpoint and just from a Tamira standpoint. That's how I do things. We call my dad Griswold, like Clark Griswold. Yeah. We go in or we don't go. We go all the way. Yeah, we do it or we don't
jump
do it.
Right out the window.
Yeah, or we don't do it at all. Yes. Mm-hmm. Yes. I am my daddy's daughter. And so the training aspect, I knew who I was going to serve. I knew how I was going to serve them. I just needed to know more about what it was that I was going to be serving them.
Oh my gosh, this is so big. So can we take a pause for the cause for a second? Mm-hmm. Because a lot of us, especially like the newbiepreneurs, they struggle with going on Google and trying to piece all this information together and watch what other people are doing when everything they need, they have right inside of them. But what they need to do is just get guidance, is to get more aligned with putting those pieces together. Mm-hmm. And this is why I love to be the biggest advocate of helping people pull out what's inside of them and stop watching other people come up and boss up. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. You can take the skill that you have and you can just enhance that skill that you already have. You watching Susie Q and Lisa Ray. Okay, maybe not Lisa Ray. Lisa somebody. Right. Do their thing. What end up happening is that the vision that you have set in your mind for your business and your end game is now distorted and blurred because you've been watching what other people are doing, and now you're all brain boggled.
And here's the other thing, and this has really been illuminated to me in the last few days. A lot of people get on social media and they preach the gospel. The only problem with the gospel that they're preaching is it's only from their point of view.
Come on. I'm sorry. Can you say that one more time?
It's only from their point of view.
People in the cheap seats.
It's only their experience. And their experience is not deep enough. It is not wide enough. It is not broad enough to speak to that experience being the absolute gospel. So we as consumers of that content have to be able to discern, well, that sounds great, but I got to figure out for her. But I got to take that and make it work for me.
Yes. Oh my gosh. I thought I was going to end the blab with just question number one. But you give me a heart attack by heart attack. I'm just going to keep going.
I thought we would be here till 1 anyway. So
that
was my time budget.
That's a big problem of mine. The other big problem of mine is when people get on these different social media platforms, Periscope, Blab, I don't know, whatever, social media.
And they go chasing platform after platform?
Well, that too, but mainly when they come on and they're using their platform as an opportunity to try to dismiss or speak down on individuals who don't know a certain facet of the industry, as if they're complete idiots. You know what I mean? For an example, you are a social media and marketing guru. That's not really my thing. I may know this much to your this much. You know what I mean? And let's say I catch one of your periscopes. Now, you won't do this, but for the sake of scenario, I catch one of your periscopes and you're on there talking about, and you are absolutely crazy if you're not doing this. And how dumb could you be to not? And I'm like, girl, do not
me life right now.
What people
giving me
know.
Life right now.
I want to go on there and just say something real crazy and shut them down, but I try to keep it professional and keep it cute. But I'd be like, do I need to take a picture of all these degrees back here just because you know one facet of how to do one thing does not complete the big picture of organization management, operations management, strategic management, revenue projections. You better come get your life together.
They're neglecting to tell a piece of their story about they were handed certain things, which allows them to even be able to be in the seat that they're in right now. So again, it goes back to being able to discern.
Yeah, because you were born with a pink spoon, so you don't have to work as hard.
And not even just that, you may have made 10,000 because this other person gave you play within their circle.
Affiliate marketing.
Yeah. Somebody else gave you access to their network.
And you had grind it out and pound the payment and do all that work yourself.
Exactly.
Stop being a fraud.
Yeah.
Stop being a fraud.
You were handed, a big stage with thousands of people, and that's how you built your brand instantly.
That makes me so mad because the wannapreneurs and the newbiepreneurs who are coming in and are watching these people on these big platforms, they get so frustrated and they get so disappointed at the lack of effort, at the lack of results that they're seeing when they're pounding it out, when they don't really see what's going on behind the scenes because people are being fraudulent with their story.
Well, and it's also, again, I do consider myself blessed and fortunate in that I do have the undergraduate and graduate degree and the 23 years of real world business experience at Fortune 500 companies to know when stuff ain't adding up.
Exactly. It's like we can
it doesn't add up. You can tell that to whomever you want to, but I'm not buying that. And that's what people have to stop and actually really absorb what they're hearing. And does it make sense or not? Does it add up or not? And sometimes there are times when I'm skeptical. And then as I get more information, it's like, okay, now I see it. Whereas before, it's like, so that's somebody else.
Okay, so the hardest thing, or one of the hardest things about being a solopreneur, and for those who don't know what a solopreneur is, that is a entrepreneur who is completely running all sectors of their business. They're wearing each and every hat of their business and they're doing it by themselves. So the biggest struggle, or one of the biggest struggles for solopreneurs, is doing everything by yourself and not really being able to have an outlet to vent, to brain dump, to share opportunities, and to just get support. So with that being said, who do you have in your support system and why?
Well, one of them is here, KB, Keisha Bass. That's my girl.
Yes, I love KB. Girl. She blesses. Yes. Keisha, she blesses my inbox about 6 times a day, but I still love her.
Yes. You, Tanisha Ajo, is another one. There are people within my network marketing company that I definitely, Stacy Purnell, McKinney, even Shane Krangle in my upline. The ultimate, I just love this couple, a power couple. They're not even Black, but I always use hashtag Black love just because of how they love on each other. It reminds me of my parents and grandparents, and that's Jim and Lisa Winkler. So a lot of people get involved in these network marketing companies and they become a member of a cult.
That sounds bad. Was that intentional?
Or they follow such and such guru and they become a crony. They become a member of a cult. They become brainwashed. And notice I mentioned people within my network marketing company, but I also mentioned people who are not in my network marketing company. My parents will always sit at the head of my board of directors. Always. Greg and Maida will always be there because where would I be without them?
Right.
And keep you grounded. So you have to develop that board of directors. And I did this video last week with Tristan where he had been grabbing, like I always use these dental picks because I'm a Nazi about flossing. And he, wanted to have the little box. And so I grabbed them from him thinking he wasn't watching. I put it down my lady pocket. And he didn't see that. But the next day he had a phone charger. So I grabbed it from him and it was so big and clunky. When I tried to put it in my lady pocket, it was overflowing out. So he saw it. So later that day, he has his little Matchbox cars and he's laying on the floor, and this is on video on my timeline, and he's putting them down the front of his shirt. And the first thing that came to my mind, yes, people do what you do, not what you say.
Right. Oh, that's funny. I gotta go watch that. That's how you
decide who is on your board of directors, by what they do. Who do they serve? How do they serve? Do they even serve other people? Now, I know people that can tell you everything about the Catholic Catechism, but they can't tell you anything about Jesus and his works, because they don't serve Jesus. They serve the ritual.
Come on, wait a minute. Do I have to get my Bible out? Hold on. Everyone, if you grab your Bibles and if you can turn to the book of John, chapter 6.
I'm an analogy. But the point here is don't listen to the lip service. Are they serving? If you want to be a servant leader, you better be following servant leaders. If you can't try to be a servant leader and you're following, analogy wise, pagans, it just doesn't work. You want to be a servant leader,
you must.
You better be following other servant leaders.
Keep talking. I'm just gonna be typing away.
That's it. I mean, you have to measure people on their work. They can talk to you about belief all day long, but we all know faith without works is dead. My daughter was just talking about it on Facebook last week. Faith without works is dead. What have they done? What have you done? Like Janet Jackson said, what have you done for me lately? And not me directly, but the greater good, the industry, the cause, whatever. What have they done? And if they're not doing anything, you shouldn't be following them. If they're not serving, because there are a lot of people out here that are giving a lot of lip service, but how are they serving? Who are they serving, and how are they serving them? It doesn't have to be the same people you are serving in the same way that you are serving them, but they need to be serving somebody. Because trust me, they are. They might be serving the dollar.
Ooh. Girl, where's that collection?
They might be serving the dollar. And that's when money is evil.
Yes.
Okay. They might be worshiping the devil.
What do you say for the new person? And when I say a newbiepreneur, they've been in business 0 to 6 months. And some of this higher terminology business slang that we're talking may be going a little bit over their head. Now, you've named people that you have in your support system, and you've made it very clear why we shouldn't follow certain people and what to look for when we do follow certain people. But let's come back and be very basic for a second, because a lot of people, especially in my target market, they struggle with not having a support system from their family, their friends, because they just don't get it. So for those types of people, what do they look for in terms of, I want this as a push partner?
Here's what I would do. I would put myself in the shoes of the person that I am serving. And who do they go get their information from? Where do they go to get the information from to make their buying decisions? And that is the first person I would look to model myself after and learn from. At its most basic core.
Yeah.
And that's why, again, everything I'm going to say goes back to one thing: knowing who it is that you are serving.
Knowing who it is that you're serving. All roads lead back to the end game. I just wrote that down. Damn you, Tamira. I'm outlining like all my talking points for my PowerPoint slides for the webinar, and that is like so in there. I'm like, I can just record this blab, and then just when I go live, I just hit play and just sit back and just drink my coffee.
Girl,
that's
funny. Why my head is hurting. I haven't had coffee today. That's what I need to do.
Uh-oh. All right. So when it comes to marketing, especially social media marketing, what are some of your must-have, hands down, must-have business tools or applications?
My must-have business tools and applications. Here, somebody's just said preach. I'm going to get on the soapbox real quick.
Get on it.
Okay.
See how much coffee I got left. Okay, we good. We good.
There has never been an easier time to create world-class graphics and content than right now from your iPhone and even your Android. If you are using free versions of apps, you need to stop.
Why? Because I use all the free versions.
The free versions, so, okay, let me speak from an Instagram and a beautypreneur standpoint.
Okay.
The free versions often require, when you redistribute that content, that company's logo is on the content. That detracts from your marketing message.
I haven't had that problem.
Then you've got some really good apps. The other thing is distractions. The free version is not really free.
Yeah,
free
the ads,
is the most
the banners
expensive.
And stuff.
Yes, the ads and the banners constantly popping up, and you can't do this and you can't do that.
Yeah.
Because I don't do free apps. Very, very rarely. I won't say I don't at all.
Yeah.
But I'm very, very selective. The $3 is a business expense. I write it off. So I do the pro versions of apps. So like Word Swag is definitely one.
Oh,
for creating
images. So go back. So first list your must-have business tools and apps.
Okay.
And then we can,
Word Swag is definitely
one
what is that is, it allows you to create quote images.
Okay.
I use the paid reposting app. I think that's what it's called. Insta Repost or Repost.
Repost, yep.
Yep, Repost. I use the paid version of that. Everything else that I use in terms of a tool is really a training that I've paid for. So I've invested in training with Amy Porterfield, the Social Media Marketing Happy Hour, Ray Higdon, and then some company-specific training, the Moving Up seminar where we go and spend like a couple days on the owner's boat and really get intensive and call workshops and that. So that's my big thing is investing in your training.
Fonto is good for watermarking. InstaFit shrinks a photo to fit Instagram without ads. Layout creates collages without ads. Those are about it without ads. Well, thank you, Olivia. I love a good tip. Now, when it comes to overall client attraction, what's your must-have business tool or system?
Client attraction, I definitely pay and use for lead pages. I use an autoresponder. I use Get Response. I self-host my blog, again, because free is the most expensive way to do business. You won't get the reach. You won't get the search engine play with a free blog. So that's what I use there. And now Canva is an app that Canva is a must-have. Canva and PicMonkey.
Canva is I can't even move without bringing it through Canva first. I can't.
Right. It has to go through Canva.
Okay, go back to your blog. Now, which blog site do you use?
I use HostGator.
For your hosting and also for your platform? Okay.
Yeah, I self-host. It's WordPress. HostGator.
Okay, so WordPress is the website platform, but you host it through WordGator. Okay.
Right.
Same thing. I self-host, but mine is GoDaddy.
Okay. Yeah, I heard everybody has told me GoDaddy is horrible for hosting. So
I haven't had no issues.
Well, that's good. Yeah, I've heard.
But because I be looking for them too. I'd be like on a customer service call, just waiting for somebody to get slick with me or something. But yeah, I want.
And I don't know that it was like the customer service piece that I heard was bad. Just like the actual hosting itself. I don't know exactly what, but
maybe my site is just, I guess, too basic or something. I haven't had any issues. I'm gonna keep my fingers crossed.
Right.
Okay, so Tamira, we all need a little bit of a daily pick-me-up, a morning motivation, a nightly bedtime word, or something to just kind of help us push through, right? So share with us what's your favorite quote. Quote. What's your favorite quote? I can't talk.
My favorite quote And this was like really the premise. My business was created off of two different quotes. The one is actually a Bible verse. The first is George Bernard Shaw. Life isn't about finding yourself. Life is about creating yourself.
George Bernard Shaw.
Yes. Life isn't about finding yourself. Life is about creating yourself. People are so busy looking for themselves, they're not out here creating. And anything that you want, you can create. I firmly believe that in my entire existence. You can create the life that you want. You can create the business that you want. You basically are the person who creates your reality. Now, the way that I was brought up is creating your own reality meant you were crazy. But then there's Steve Jobs, who said the people that think they can are the people that actually achieve it are the ones that are crazy enough to think that they can. So I'll be crazy. That works for me.
Yeah.
The other one,
I live in crazy town, so.
Yep. And then of course Romans 12:2, do not conform to the pattern of this world, but be transformed by the renewing of your mind.
Oh my gosh. Can you read that again? I can just hear that all day, because the mindset is like everything. Mm-hmm. How you think is how you act.
Exactly. And being an entrepreneur, you are really being transformed by the renewing of your mind. You are going against the grain. The plane takes off going against the wind. And that's what this is all about. Do not be conformed by the ways of the world, but be transformed by the renewing of your mind. That my oldest daughter graduated from Mesmer, and that was their verse.
My kids go to Mesmer.
That was there. Yeah, we talked about that. Mm-hmm.
Yep. Oh, y'all, for those who don't know, we realized that we were living in the same city when we were on, wait a minute, not Periscope.
I think it was Periscope, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Was it Periscope?
Yeah, it was Periscope.
Yeah, it was on Periscope. Yeah, Keisha, she's over here preaching again. Can you share the Bible verse, the book, chapter, and scripture?
Romans 12:2.
Two?
Yes.
Now, obviously, if you can share, why are those two quotes your favorites?
Because it is all about reinventing yourself, but you have to first know what your vision is and stay true to your vision, and then you just reinvent along the way. And being a business owner, you usually are going against the grain, right? You have a strong belief about something that other people could not see. Other people 2 years ago thought I was crazy. Going on 3 years ago, they thought I was crazy. And now they're singing my praises because I held true to my vision. And I'm making it happen. Now, there's really only two people in this world that, yeah, they might have thought I was crazy, but they knew in the end that I was crazy enough just to make it happen. And that's my parents, Greg and Maydell. And I love them for that. There are other people who are no longer in my life because I'm not going to be made to feel that I have to fit inside of a box and do what everything else is doing. What everyone else is doing is getting to retirement and having to still work. Right. What everyone else is having to do is not having to choose between being able to make an income and being able to be at their kids' school play. What everyone else is having to choose from is being able to choose to go ahead and accept the stigma that comes along with taking a leave from work to take care of an ailing parent, because it is a stigma in certain cultures, and you have a mark on you after you do that.
Yeah, I think now this used to kill me. And, for those who know my story of, leaving corporate America and starting my business full time almost 4 years ago as a HR manager, because I'm a woman first, a wife, and a mom, right? And as a mom, it used to kill me when employees would come in and bring in their PTO slips, their pay time off slips, to ask for a half day or a sick day or a personal day or something like that. And we'll strike up a conversation, and they need to take that time off so they can go to their kids' field trip. You know what I mean? Or so they can go take their kid to the doctor because they've been sick for 4 days. And as a mother, it disgusts me that employees have to do that. You know what I mean? I think it, oh my gosh. I remember my grandmother had died, or I'm sorry, she was on her deathbed, and we got a call. She only had like less than 24 hours to make it, which was pretty much drop everything, hit 94, and head back to Chicago. And all I remember was going, if I still was working in my 9-to-5 job, the hoops I would have to go through, the hoops I would have to jump through just to go sit by my grandmother's bedside and say my last words to her. I think no one on the planet should have to go through the turmoil that these jobs put them through just to make ends meet and to keep their head above water.
Because they're only going to pay you just enough to make sure you keep coming back. They're not going to pay you what you want.
That's it. It's been many of times where I did not give people raises because the managers were told or taught to look for any and every discrepancy they could. If it was attendance, if it was poor performance, if it was,
we used to call them talent reviews.
Yeah. Yeah.
They're called talent reviews. And that's what it was to nip away and take away.
And it was,
but the guy at the top is making all the money.
I was just about to say, we had an increment.
And the guy at the top is making all the money.
Yep. We had an increment that we can give between a 3% to a 5% wage increase overall. And if you made 5%, you were Jesus. Like everything was perfect in your world. And so they would scrub through and find any little, being disgruntled, coming in late lunches, poor performance, whatever the case was, and people would get 3s across the board, and it would just make me sick. Do you think anyone can pay you what you're worth? Good discussion. Yes, when you become your own boss and work for yourself, you can always write your own ticket.
You can always
write your own ticket. You can always write your own ticket. I'm ready to build my business so I can walk away from my 9-to-5. Rachel, create your escape plan, starting with knowing who you serve and work your way backwards. Start with your end game, chunk it down into baby steps, and work your way backwards. Do not.
I know Rachel. She's in Milwaukee as well, Erica. Her and I have chatted.
Yay! Oh my! Do you know how geeked I get when I find out somebody else?
Yeah, she's in Milwaukee.
She's from Milwaukee.
She's
all right, Rachel.
As cute as a butt, just as sweet. Yeah. Definitely should hook up.
People who are sitting in their 9-to-5s and they're like disgusted and all that stuff, they look for, I can't wait to leave. 3 months is going to be my end date, or my last day is going to be 6 months. And they work from a mindset of working on the next step instead of working from the last step. Focus on your last step, which is leaving, and work backwards to do everything and position yourself financially, mentally, spiritually to position yourself to get ready to leave.
And it's mindset, right?
That's mind over matter.
A lot of it is you just have to know what. You don't have to know how. The most successful entrepreneurs and business people, they didn't know how, they just knew it had to happen.
Exactly.
And since I've been operating from that mindset, my world is just crazy lately.
Crazy town? So you live in crazy town too?
Yep.
Yeah, it's like, I mean, if you think
I would rather be crazy than what everybody else is. What everybody else is disgusts me. I'm not gonna lie. That is not for me. Getting up day after day and going somewhere that I hate, coming home angry, not at my children, but needing a time out
to just breathe.
To just breathe so that my anger does not overflow on them because they don't deserve that. I would not wish that on my worst enemy.
Somebody cussed me out at work today.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. It's
because your boss is lying. Your boss is telling you what you got to tell them, but then gets in front of them and is lying to them. And then you're the bad guy. Everybody's making you the bad guy, which, by the way, when you're an African-American woman, you're already stereotyped as being angry and mean anyway.
I'm having flashbacks. I'm literally having flashbacks.
I'm just saying, it's not for me. I will never do that again. Ever.
I worked in a Fortune 100 company, and the higher I got promoted up the ranks, the more corporate politics and the more Shark Tank it became. I mean, I can mentally see the knives in people's backs based on conversations that were had in boardrooms. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I got to the point where I got physically sick. My job made me physically sick, knowing what I had to come in and do every day. Your morals and your values go out of the window when it comes to conforming to somebody else's rules. They completely go out the window. You can love Jesus all day, but you can't praise him at work. How crazy!
Well, they have different rules. That's why I don't like it. The rules changed too much, because it was very clear there were rules for everybody else, and then there were rules for me. And right. I don't do well with that. I make my rules. I do what I want to do.
Yeah. So, oh my gosh, moving on.
I'm a nonconformist. And that's why the 2 quotes. I'm a nonconformist.
I was always so my word was rebel. I've always been the rebel.
They used to call me militant.
Yeah. Well, I am an Army brat, so that's kind of part of it too. But I went to grammar school or grade school in Chicago, and I'm not sure if in Milwaukee doing ages ago when we had report cards that kind of open up like a book, and you had like your grades on one side, and you have like check marks on the other side.
That's how mine was. I didn't grow up in Milwaukee.
Okay. And the first 2 disciplinary or behavior categories were: does not exercise self-control, does not follow directions. Every quarter from like 2nd grade to like 7th grade, I had every quarter without fault. My mom knew she could open up that report card and see the check marks just there every time. I've always been a rebel. I hate when people tell me that I cannot do something, because that gives me a burning desire to just shut you up and prove you wrong. Even if I think it's crazy and I had no desire to even want to do it, just because you told me that I can't, I'm going to do it anyway. I'm going to do it anyway. Like they told me you cannot build a website if you don't have website experience. Okay. All right.
Right. That's exactly it. That's the best way to get me to do something, is tell me I can't do it.
Language. Okay.
Yep.
All right, sure. All right, Tamira. Yep. So for those who've joined late or is watching the replay, because we always get a lot of Blab replayers, can you share with us where we can find you? I know where to find you because you live in my city. But where can everybody else find you?
The best place to connect with me, honestly, hands down, is Facebook and Facebook Messenger. My website, you're more than welcome to visit my website, TamiraHamilton.com.
Can you plug that in there? Are you on a phone or a computer?
Computer.
Oh, okay. Can you plug your stuff for us?
Yep. So TamiraHamilton.com, Facebook. I'll put that in there. And then I do have an offer for everybody, and it's a free Facebook marketing report. I gave you the link for that. Can you put that in there? Because I've got so many links, I can't always keep them straight.
I know. I'm actually going to grab that now. If you can keep talking, let's open up for Q&A. So,
someone's asking, is it true you can be your own worst critic?
Yes.
Yes.
By default, I have ADD. I'm a Virgo, and I'm an Army brat, and I have, they call it acute OCD, because I'm not, I guess, not full blown OCD where I don't wash my hands 10 times and take 10 showers, but I have acute OCD and I'm a Virgo. So with all that working against me, I am very much my worst critic. Yeah.
For me, when I speak of my parents,
did I just share way too much?
When I speak of my parents, there are other people involved. So when I speak of my parents, I'm not speaking of my natural mother. My natural mother is actually my very own worst critic, and I have to constantly reprogram my brain to not hear her negativity and toxicity in my head to keep me from doing the things that I can do. You know, I love the Holton Bugs video where he talks about, you know, how his mother told him things, and how we've all heard these things growing up. You know, the key to success is to get a good job, get a good education, and get a good job. Wrong.
No. Go to college, so go work a job until you die. Yeah. Nope, that's not it.
And he goes through this whole litany of sayings that we've heard, and he's like, y'all been talking to my mother. And so that's it. You know, the human brain hears like 20,000 messages in a certain time period, even when you don't even realize it. Your subconscious, and your subconscious is always trying to protect you. So you have to be able to be aware of when you are criticizing yourself versus critiquing yourself, and being aware will allow you to reprogram and reframe that thought. And don't think because we're here on this blab that it doesn't happen to us. It does. And when the voices inside my head get too loud, I reach out to KB and to Erica.
Be like, girl, wait a minute, hold on. You know what else? Now this was my problem. In addition to that, and I totally agree with Knifey. I think we have like the same mom. But in addition to that, a part of my backstory is because I grew up with a dad in the service. There were really, really high expectations put on me to
same here.
Yes, conform, or not really conform, but to produce and show up in a certain manner. You know, it was a certain college that my dad wanted me to go to. Okay, so let me just give y'all a little backstory. When my mom was pregnant with me over in Germany, right? Yes, I was born in Germany. So when my mom was pregnant with me over in Germany, the doctors back then told her that she was having a boy. So originally my name was going to be Eric, right? E-R-I-C. I came out surprised, I'm a girl, and they slapped the A at the end. But my dad had always raised me as a boy in terms of playing sports and doing all of this tomboyish stuff, right? He wanted me to go to a certain college. He wanted me to major in specific studies. He, and because of, government funds paying for school, if I didn't do that, I would have to foot the bill on my own. You go to college, you go to this college, and you take these courses, and you learn this major, you graduate, and then you go work in a top Fortune 500 company. And that's what you do, and you work there, and you dominate corporate America until you retire. That was embedded in my
You froze up, boo.
brain. I thought that, it takes a really, really bold person to say, I love you, but I have to do what makes me happy, even if it's going to disappoint you. If I can't get your support, that's okay. I understand.
And that was a pivotal point for me. When tough. It was like, I'm not beating myself up trying to get your approval anymore. And you've probably seen that Jada Pinkett video.
Which one?
On Facebook, where she answers Willow's question about what it means to be a mom. And I mean, and she just nailed it. Our society, and that is the problem I have with that supposed to be mother, is our society is so built on you have to sacrifice yourself and die, basically, for your children. And I just don't believe that you have to do that. I think you need to have balance. I think you should be able to do things for you without feeling guilty.
I feel like being a mother of 4 children, I think it is my responsibility to create opportunities and outlets, but also understanding the boundaries with those opportunities and those outlets, so everything is not handed over to them, so they can understand the meaning of hard work, and they can understand the meaning of what it is to value something. You know what I mean?
Girl, it's like you been a voyeur in my life. You know exactly what's going on.
Yeah. Well, my oldest is 18. It's not as grown as yours, but I'm almost there. I'm almost right behind you.
Mine are 24 on the 4th and 18.
That's almost still a good
number. I don't think you're 18 and a half, but she'll be 19 in June.
Tamira, my baby is 6. Okay. So I'll talk to you in like 15 more years.
No, girl. Hey, the best part about being a grandparent, aside from redemption, is I get to hand him back over.
Oh my gosh. All right. So listen. Oh, do you have a Facebook page? Okay. You answered that one. All right. So I'm getting ready to post a link to Tamira's amazing Blab Talk bonus, right? Because every week I always ask my co-host to share a very valuable content or report or something that can be of benefit and value to your life or to your business, right? So as I post a link, Tamira, can you kind of share what this bonus is and all that fun stuff? And when you click the link, make sure that you click Tamira Hamilton with the date January 12th and not last week's. Click this week's.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Okay. It's a free report on Facebook marketing, teaching you the basic ins and out of marketing yourself and your business on Facebook, how to set up a Facebook fan page, how to, make posts, what types of posts that you can make. I think it's about 28 pages, and it also has some great resources. And what it will also do is get you on my list for, I do a monthly boot camp. And my boot camp in February, you will not want to miss. It is all about video marketing. So it's not going to be platform specific. We will talk about platforms like Snapchat, Periscope, Facebook Live and that, but it will be all about how to create and distribute video content to your benefit in business. If you are not streaming live, if you are not producing video, in 2016, you are losing.
You're losing.
You are losing.
Now, I'm definitely going to make sure I join your boot camp, because as much as I want to be full in to video marketing, when it comes to just YouTube specifically, it's like the learning curve for me, I feel like a complete idiot. So I'm going to make sure that's going to be for selfish reasons. I'm joining boot camp. But also in terms of your boot camp, now, is this for just entrepreneurs who are in the internet marketing sector, or I'm sorry, the direct selling, or is it for anyone who's an entrepreneur?
It's for anyone.
Anyone who markets online.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right.
I specifically serve direct sellers and beautypreneurs and bloggers. However, my reach is definitely far beyond that.
Okay. All right, you guys. So I'm going to just do a really quick, I'm going to open up for Q&A. Ask me or ask Tamira anything, and be very conscious of the anything part. I'm pretty much open book, but I don't know how Tamira is, but yeah, so be conscious of it. Yeah, I'm very transparent. So we're going to open up for Q&A. We've gone over a lot of business strategies. We've gone over understanding your why. We've gone over understanding your community and your tribe. We've gone over having a support system, why you need to have one, and what to do to get one, what to look for. And everything that we've discussed today and Tamira's amazing interview. Hey, Nikki, welcome, and welcome, Robert. What questions do you have for myself or for Tamira, you guys, that we can answer? And if no one's typing, we can just wrap it up. I just made my first video on the live. I made it for YouTube, and Erica has mentioned it. Oh, send me that link, Olivia. Aw.
So now that you've made that, Olivia, it's time to distribute it.
Okay. Sprinkle it across everywhere else, right?
Mm-hmm. Yep. Get it on Twitter and get it on Facebook. On Facebook, you actually want to upload it to Facebook natively. That's going to be the big thing in 2016 is native content. Native content is always going to trump content from other platforms.
All right, so we have 3 good juicy questions that just came in. I'm going to read the questions out because when I post this on my blog site, sometimes the comments are cut off. So the first question was, how can you find a good support system? This is from Heaven Nakisha. I think you answered that very well. Can you give us a quick recap?
Can you say the question again?
Yes, the question was,
what was the question
how can you find a good support system?
How you can find a good support system is definitely by networking. I believe like attracts like. And I must be an awesome person because I've got Keisha and Erica, in my support system. Right?
I was kind of thinking the same thing, like I am not worthy.
You are hilarious. You always want to have a balance between people who are your peers, who are on your level, and people who are where you want to be or going where you want to go. And so you have to be able to That's one of the things as minorities, both in corporate and in business, we don't do enough is get outside of our comfort zone and network. You might have to go to some events and places that you normally would not go to. But if you stay where you are, you will get the same results that you are getting. You might have to do a change of venue and go out and meet new people and network and create lasting relationships. So it can be, you can start with things that are native to you. So what do you like to do? If you like to run, get on Meetup and find a running club to join. If you like beer, join a beer tasting group. There's all kinds of groups that are out there.
Everything. There's a group for everything. All right. Knifey asked the question, Tamira, what's your Periscope handle? Okay, she put that in there. Knifey, let me know if you got the link that Tamira just posted in there. Rachel just asked, are videos necessary for a blog community? Yes. My answer is yes. Tamira, what's your answer?
Videos are necessary for any kind of community because it's the number one way for people to like, trust, know, and remember you, because they get to hear your voice. They get to see what you look like. They get to see your mannerisms and your body language. What we have to remember is 90% to 93% of communication is nonverbal.
Right.
And that does not come across in the written word. The written word can be taken of a myriad of ways, depending on how well you write. But video is going to really be the key to people just becoming attracted to you.
This is why, and I totally agree. This is why Periscope and Blab are blowing it out of the water, because I'm a numbers person, but in terms of the amount of time it takes for you to build a know, like, trust rapport with someone, it could be months if you just exchange emails or tweets or Facebook posts back and forth. But then here comes Blab and Periscope, and now you have this live, real-time interaction. Like right now, if my phone run right now, y'all guys will hear it. You know what I mean? It's real life, real-time interaction, and you guys get to feel the energy in what we're saying. You get to feel the energy in our body gestures and our body language. There's two ways means of communication where you can post a comment and we can instantly reply back. I mean, it catapults the conversion of client attraction.
It speeds up your sales cycle incrementally, exponentially, so quickly. I saw Heaven say, that's true networking. I sell jewelry and hip hop. I'm writing a book now. My old girlfriend gets comfortable in their skin. I like to meet people. I want to touch on this really quickly. I already did a little bit.
Touch on it.
Especially when it comes to network marketing. I truly believe there are two reasons people fail in network marketing. The first is they don't network enough, and they didn't network enough before they started a network marketing business. And they are socially bankrupt, meaning they have drawn out more socially than they've deposited. So when I started my business, I had no problem filling my calendar because I had deposited enough value in others in a social and business context that I had no problem filling my calendar. The second reason is they are too concerned with what people who don't pay their bills think about them and what they are doing to make a living for them and their family.
Come on with this word.
And so that again is fixed by networking and getting out and being surrounded by people who believe what it is that you believe, and then that problem goes away. So we have to learn to get out of our comfort zone and find people who believe what we believe, and then build great relationships with them, and then it just pings from there.
Can we talk about something else real quick? I don't know how much time you have, but you just sparked something else that just goes hand in hand with your statement. Can we talk about intimidation for a second? Can we talk about online intimidation?
Oh my God, girl, we got to be quick because I can tell you some stories about intimidation. I can tell you some things that have been said to me that are just absolutely insane.
How about this? Can you share with us a few ways that people who are timid, those who may possibly be introverts, those who possibly were raised from childhood to seek approval, anything of that background, right? And is looking to become an entrepreneur or grow to the next level in their business, can you share a few tips on what they can do to minimize the online intimidation of the gurus in their industry?
I'm not sure what you mean of the online intimidation by the gurus in their industry.
So let's say I want to get into beauty blogging. Clearly, this is a scenario. And I see you and you have like tons of followers, tons of interaction. You're blowing it out the water. You have receipts all over the place. You have social proof and all this stuff, right? And I get intimidated about wanting to get my feet wet in the beauty blogging or the beauty industry, because I don't feel as though I can stand up, meet or match the performance and the way and what you're doing. So that hinders me from typing blog posts and marketing and all that kind of stuff. Do y'all understand my question?
I understand your question now, because I thought you were going a different direction. Because
I know. See, damn, the phone rung. Make sure it's not my kid in school. No, all right.
I totally get it. I thought you were going a different direction when you said the word introvert, because I do want everyone to know I am an introvert.
You are not.
I am very much an introvert.
You
Absolutely.
I want you to take the Briggs and Myers test right after
I take every time I take it, it comes out an introvert.
What's your letters?
I believe it's INTJ.
Oh my gosh, you're so an introvert.
I'm very much an introvert. An introvert is not about being shy. An introvert is not even about being outgoing. What an introvert is based on is how you draw your energy. I draw my energy, how I re-energize is alone time. Extroverts draw their energy from being around other people. That's all introvert and extrovert is, and people start to think it means other things. But you will find out that if you take a road trip with me, you will find out very quickly I'm an introvert. I can get all in my head, and it's like you're not there.
Not even there.
And it's not. People take it personally. Yeah, I'm very much an introvert. But to answer your question, and I'm going to be succinct on this, at the end of the day, it's about you and the value that you bring to the table. And if what someone else has done intimidates you and makes you think it's not worth doing, then you lack a vision. You don't have vision enough for what it is that you want to do in order to be able to see what that other person has done as inspiration for you to be able to achieve. Did you just smack us in the face with that? Well, it was with love.
I smack you with love. Okay, so you beat us down. Now
you have to have a vision, and you have to want it. If that makes me shy away, oh, this person has this great, big, magnificent blog. I mean, my thing is always I can do it and I can do it better. And I do. I overdose in confidence. I understand that. But at the end of the day, it is about you and your unique value proposition. And in 2016, the riches are in the niches. Finding your little corner of the world and owning it and dominating it. Your unique value proposition. And at the same time, I do kind of relate because I curate content from some of these big beauty gurus. And you know what I find? When I share that information with my tribe, they're like, yeah, that's good, but we still want to see you do it. They want to get the information from me. And so that's what you need to do, is not worry about what that guru has done, but creating your own tribe. Because at the end of the day, once you've created a tribe, you nurture that tribe and you bond with that tribe, whatever you put out, they will at least initially consume it. And if it's a fail, they're not going to go blast you all over social media and hate you for it. They're just going to be like, that's okay. What you got next for us?
Right. Oh, I love that. All right. So as we get ready to wrap up, you guys, what would you say your niche is? I'm curious.
It's different for each business. In the beauty business, it's definitely a career woman who is, getting a little more aged, and she is looking to reinvent herself in her career and making sure that she looks her best at all times. So she's into things like, you know, I lost 10 pounds instantly this morning when I shrunk wrapped my face by contouring it. Okay. I wish I could do that for my midsection. It just doesn't work as well.
I was just about to ask you that. Damn it. All right.
Yeah. Yeah. So that is that niche. On the other hand, I have the beauty bloggers, the makeup artists, the direct sellers in any industry who are basically sick and tired of pounding out those same 8, 9, 10 people about their business and products. They have heard what everyone else has said, and it doesn't work. They want to know how to effectively and efficiently market their business for results and get leads on autopilot.
All right, Tamira. So as we get ready to wrap it up, because you have blessed us with an additional 24 minutes over, I'm glad that this isn't a paid a paid presence. I will go broke. Thank you both. This has been so. Oh, you are so welcome, Paula. This was the exact intent of the Blab Talk Tuesday show. I am so glad. If you all can just share with us some of the top knowledge nuggets or the top gems or top takeaways that you've learned from either myself or Tamira, please feel free to type those comments in the box, because we would love to know that our message and the platform that we're using to inspire and to encourage is not going in vain. So, all right, too many nuggets. Confirming my vision. You schedule a 15-minute consultation with me. Oh, okay, Olivia. Yep. Shrinking midsection. Alex, you're crazy. Alex is my.
That's not the right way to do it, Alex. I know the right way to do it. I need to just do it.
Alex is my blab, like Kevin Hart. Awesome, you guys. All right. So in case you guys just joined, make sure, here's a link. Make sure that you get into this free Blab Talk bonus that Tamira is blessing us with. It is a free Facebook marketing report where she's going to show you how to set up your Facebook page and all the tips and tricks and hacks to Facebook marketing, you guys. What about the nugget she smacked us with? Oh, yeah, the one about
y'all make me feel bad. It wasn't meant to be like, yeah. It wasn't meant to be like that.
Means, that one that she smacked us with was if you're intimidated, then that means that you lack vision. You crazy girl. You know the bomb.
Hey, that's all. Again, I am daughter of Griswold. We shoot straight from the hip, and most importantly, we shoot straight. That's part of why I don't do well with politics. I'm going to tell you. I'm going to tell it like a TI is. So
I love
that. That's my opinion. I'm one person, though. You know, that's just my opinion.
But I mean, that's all the way real, though. Absolutely. Shauna, you said that you came late. This is going to be on replay, so you can go to my website, ericahvincent.com, and she will be the last blog post that's in my, what is that? In my, not feed, posts. My post. All right, you guys. So thank you all so much for joining us, for hanging out with us, for interacting with us. Thank you for those who signed up. Make sure that you follow Tamira everywhere. Can you post your Periscope handle again? Make sure you guys follow her on Periscope, because if you think she drops bombs here, you need to make sure that you are following Tamira and on Periscope, and also join her Facebook group, because she gives you daily bombs, you guys. So make sure that you follow her everywhere. Make sure you sign up for her Facebook free report and get your Facebook game together. All right, I will see you all next week, same time, same place. Tamira, any lasting words before we deuce out?
No, once again, Erica, I want you guys to know, Erica, you have to be able to find people that compliment you. I am not the most organized person in the world. And one of the things I am working on in 2016 is not, because I by nature am a proactive person. And the last 2 years, though, with internet marketing, what I've learned to be able to do is to be very responsive. It's not my natural suit, though. And Erica is very proactive. This was like very professional. I felt like I was coming onto, like, you know, the late night show or Oprah or with the PDFs and everything. Ultimate professional, ultimate professionalism. And so, guys, please give our host a lot of kudos and share this all over and make this bigger. I'm really impressed with the numbers she has of people that have been in here in total and at any given time. Just absolute awesome. And I will definitely be back if you'll have me. Loved.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, we may have to make like a standing like slot for you or something. Absolutely.
Oh my God.
All right, you guys. So I am out. Remember, follow the links, follow us everywhere. We're going to go ahead and close out. And as I close out, I always say, remember to be a blessing to others, and you too will be blessed. Take care. See you next week. Same time, same place.
Thanks.
Bye, Tamira. Thank you so much.
Thank you.